You might be surprised to know that many of the people who are millionaires today were completely bankrupt after the age of 40. Yes, it sounds crazy, but it is true. I have myself seen people who once used to sleep on the street with their families today live in big houses. But the question is, how did it happen that they suddenly waved a magic wand? No, friends. The answer to this is hidden in their minds, and this is where our journey today begins. Poverty, which we consider a lack of money, is not actually that. It is a mental cycle that you repeat every day without thinking, and the cruelest thing is that you are not even aware of it. I myself was caught in this trap. Around the age of 40, I had nothing, no money, no dreams of the future. I would wake up in the morning, work hard, but whatever I earned slipped away from my fingers like sand. Have you also felt that this happens to you too, that even after hard work, nothing comes in hand? If yes, then listen, you are not alone, but the truth is that the problem is not in money but in your mind. I remember once I asked a friend, "Hey, you earn so much, still why are you not able to save?" He laughed and said, "I am like that, money comes." But this was not the answer, that money is a hawkage. This is a programming that is put in our minds since childhood. When we were young, we were taught that money comes with difficulty. Rich people are different. This is not a dream for people like us, and slowly this thing got deeply embedded in our mind. Listen to the story of Jim Carrey. Once he used to sleep in the car with his family, but he wrote a check of $10 million for himself. Why is it with a future date? Because he changed his thinking. He started seeing himself as a successful person and not poor, and this is the difference. But you will say, "Brother, this seems easy, but after 40 everything ends." No, friends, this is an excuse. The age of 40 is not your weakness, but your strength. You have experience, lessons of making mistakes, and understanding what you want. But still, if you are still thinking the same thing, that I am like this, nothing will change for me, then you are trapped in that trap. I once met a man. He was 45 years old, father of 3 children, and he used to work day and night. Job of security guard, then bus driver. His face had turned pale due to fatigue. He said to me, "Bob, I am giving everything for my children, but they will remember me only as a tired father." When I started stock holding in 1996, when I was 16 years old, the market was completely different. There were tears in his eyes. I asked, "Have you ever thought that there can be no way out of this fatigue?" He became silent. Friends, the first step to come out of poverty is to recognize your thinking. Until you do not understand that your life is seen in the mirror of your mind, nothing will change. I saw it myself when I limited my hard work only to earning money. Started thinking that money should work for you. So every year my price was calculated, but when I started thinking that money should work for me, the way started to appear. Have you ever wondered why people who earn money even while sleeping are able to do so? Because their mindset is different. They invest their time instead of selling it, and this change is possible even after 40 years. But here a question arises. If poverty is not just a lack of money, then how to break it? Is hard work enough? No, hard work alone will not suffice. Look around. People work for 12 hours, yet they are unable to pay the bills. Workers in delivery boys and factories earn their living with their physical strength. But where is the reward? It is true that wealth is not made by sweat, but by wisdom, and this wisdom is already present in your mind. It just needs to be awakened. I have decided once in my life. Now I will rewrite my thoughts. I woke up in the morning and said to myself, "I deserve prosperity." At first I laughed, but slowly it started becoming true. So today I tell you this, hold your mind. Listen to those sentences that you speak about money every day. "I am like this, it is not possible for me." Write them on paper and then read them, because until you do not change your thinking, no course, no job, no bonus will take you out of this trap. The age of 40 is not your defeat, but a new beginning. But the question is, are you ready to change your self-image? Can you see the person you can become? Can you see that person in the mirror of your mind, who is rich, independent, and happy? If your answer is yes, then great, but if your answer is no, or you have a slight doubt in your mind, then today, we are going to break that message, because friends, the second step to get out of poverty after the age of 40 is to rebuild your self-image. What is self-image? It is the picture you create about yourself in your mind. It is the story you tell yourself every day. Who am I? What can I do? What do I deserve? And this story starts from your childhood. When you were young, maybe someone said it is not possible for you, or rich people are different. People like you just work hard, and slowly this thing became a truth in your mind. I have experienced this myself. Till the age of 40, I considered myself a loser. I tried hard, but every time a big opportunity came my way, I backed out. Why? Because deep inside I did not think I was worthy of that opportunity. My mind would tell me the same old story over and over again. You are the one who cannot pay the bills, who loses every time. But one day I stopped and questioned myself. Is this true? Am I really that? And that day I realized that my self-image was acting as my biggest enemy. Have you ever heard of people winning the lottery and losing everything in a few years? Look at the story of Nicolas Cage. He made more than $150 million in his career, but still he was in debt. Why? Because his self-image could not handle that prosperity. Deep inside he did not think he was worthy of that money, and so he lost it. This is a button, guys. Your outer world is always a reflection of your inner picture. If you think of yourself as small, you will accept small things. I remember I once attended a seminar in Atlanta. There I met a 150-year-old woman. Her name was Rika. She told me that she never dared to dream in her life. She used to say, "This is not for me, I just live for my children." I looked into her eyes and asked, "Rika, have you ever been allowed to be rich?" And she fell silent. Tears welled up in her eyes. She said, "No, I was always taught to work hard, live with my head down, and be happy with whatever you get." That day Rika took a decision. She would change her image. She told herself every morning, "I deserve prosperity. I have the wisdom to create new paths." And what happened? 6 months later she started a small online course, in which she shared her experience of raising children. Today she is the master of her time, and her earnings are much more than her hard work. Friends, this is not magic. This is science. Your mind believes only what you tell it repeatedly. If you say every day I am a loser, you will keep losing. But if you say I will build to win. Many people think that you can just walk by metro in 4 days, and I tell all of you that you can make a process in 4 days. Then your mind will start looking for that way. I myself did this. I wake up every morning and look in the mirror. I say I am the person who can turn his dreams into reality. At first it felt strange, but slowly my mind started believing it to be true. I started seeing small opportunities that I was not able to see before. Started taking risks because now I did not think of myself as a loser. But here is a question. Is just changing your self-image enough? He made more than $150 million after 40 just by thinking positive. The answer is no. This is the first step, but after that you have to do something that works for you. Even when you are sleeping, you have to learn the art of investing your time instead of selling it, and this is where the power of passive comes in. But before that you have to believe that you are the one who deserves that prosperity. So start today. Look at me and say to yourself, I deserve prosperity. Repeat this every day because this is what you will build your new life on. Now that you have decided to change your self-image, a new question arises. Will this change automatically take you out of poverty after 40? The answer is no. It is a strong foundation. But now you have to build a building on that foundation that works for you even when you are sleeping. I am talking about passive income that does not depend on selling your time, but is built from your mind and intelligence. And yes, this is possible even after the age of 40. I saw this at one time in my life. When I used to work hard day and night, I would wake up at 5 a.m. and work at a small shop, then work overtime at a factory at night. But at the end of the month I had nothing. Thought, maybe I am working too hard. So I worked harder, but the result was the same. Then one day I asked myself a question. How do people who make money while sleeping do it? And that question changed my life. I realized that more than hard work, intelligence is needed. I was selling my time, and my time was getting cheaper every year. But when I started investing my time, things started changing. Passive income means creating a system that works for you. It is not magic. This is math, but most of us don't pay attention to it because it is said that hard work is everything. Look around. They work 14 hours a day, but are still in debt. Delivery boys, factory workers, security guards. These people run with their physical strength. But what is the reward? Barely able to pay their bills. On the other hand, people who create passive income work with their minds. They create wealth and then that wealth works for them. I have a story of a man. His name is Rajesh. He was 47 years old, father of 3 children, and worked as a bus driver day and night. He told me that I am living for my children, but I am with you. I asked him, did I think that your time can work for you? He laughed and said yes, but I explained to him that the passive rich have a lot of wisdom. He listened to me and took a small step. He used his experience to make a small business. Tips on bus driving and road safety. He started selling it online. In the first month, he got only 500, but after 6 months, he was earning 20,000 every month. He quit his job and now he is earning a lot of money. Friends, this is possible, but for that you have to make a big change. You have to give up the habit of selling your time. Have you ever thought that if you follow for 3 months, how much income tax will help you? Most people will say, why 0? Because we have learned to sell time in exchange for money. Work. Earn money, stop working. Earn money. but passive income is like a shield that protects you. This is the freedom that can give you a new life, even after 40. I myself started small. I have created a small online course. In this, I told the patients how to manage their expenses. At first no one bought it, but I did not give up. 3 months later, a video went viral and I earned more in 1 month from that course than I had earned in the first 6 months. And the best part is the course is still making money for me even when I am sleeping. So the question is, are you ready to invest your time instead of selling it? Are you ready to create systems that work for you? If yes, then this is just the beginning. Now that you have understood the power of passive income, a new challenge is waiting for you. You have decided to invest your time instead of selling it. But are you really ready to take that first step? Can you dare to take the risk that will turn your dreams into reality? Because friends, the biggest way out of poverty after the age of 40 is to take it. Defeat and take on your fears. I have let fear dominate me many times in my life. When I first thought of creating a small online course, my mind was filled with questions. What if no one buys it? What if people make fun of me? What if I lose everything? This fear was so great that I did not do anything for many months. I buried my dreams in a corner and continued living the same old life. Wake up in the morning, work hard and sleep tired at night. But one day I asked myself, what if I don't even try? Will I be stuck in this cycle forever? And that question shook me. Friends, fear is something that is taught to us from childhood. We are told not to make mistakes. Failure is a matter of shame. Do not take risks. One of my relatives started a business once and lost everything. After that I saw everyone in my family saying that doing business is not our cup of tea, and this thing stuck in my mind. I started thinking that taking risks is foolish, that a stable job is the safest way. But is it true? Look around. People who spend 20–30 years in the same job, they too are replaced by some cheap and young person one day. Actually, not taking risks is the biggest risk. I remember an incident once. I started working on a small business idea. I thought of selling some products in a local market. I invested all my savings in it, but in the first month itself, I suffered a loss. I was devastated. I thought maybe I am not worthy of this. But then I heard a story. Her book Harry Potter was rejected by 12 publishers, but she did not give up. If she had stopped, we would not have known Harry Potter today. That story gave me courage. I tried again, this time more intelligently, and the second time, I did not lose anything. Rather, I made a profit. Friends, failure is not the opposite of success. This is its CD, but most of us are afraid to climb this ladder. Why? Because we have been taught that making mistakes is bad. But let me tell you one thing. Do not consider fear as a sign to stop. Consider it as a sign to read. Every time you do, it means that you are on the verge of doing something big. I once heard in a seminar, a study of Britain's university says that more than 17% of people do not even start their personal or professional projects due to fear. And the saddest thing is that most of them do not even know what they are afraid of. It is just a strange feeling that stops us. But after the age of 40, it has an advantage. You have experience, you have made your mistakes, you have seen failures, and you know that life gives you a second chance. So now is not the time to be afraid. Now is the time to take risks. Have you ever thought that if you start working on that small idea that has been in your mind for years, then what can happen? What if it works? I once took a small risk. I started sharing my experience on an online platform. At first no one paid attention to it, but gradually people started joining. Today the platform is earning money for me every month. So today I say this to you, embrace your fear. Take a small step to multiple the chances that you always wanted to take, because your life after 40 is your biggest strength. Now that you have defeated fear and started taking risks, a new picture emerges. You changed your thinking, understood the power of passive income, and took steps for your dreams. But the question is all this temporary? What? Can this journey started after 40 years give you prosperity forever? The answer is mother, but for that you have to create a permanent path. This path is your mindset, your habits, and your systems. These are the three things that will free you from the trap of poverty. For Amisha, I have seen in my life that people who try just once and stop, return to the same cycle again. I also did the same when my first small business failed. I thought that now it's over. But then I realized once again that prosperity is not an event, it is a process. I strengthened my mindset every day. I woke up in the morning and wrote down my goals, remembered my successes, and learned from my failures. Slowly I created a system, investing a little every month, learning a new skill every year. And this system is working for me today. Friends, for permanent prosperity you have to change your habits. Do you track your expenses every day, or do you spend a part of your time in learning? I saw a man, his name was Vage. He was an ordinary 48-year-old, but he made it a habit to read books for 1 hour every night. He learned from books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Think and Grow Rich. He invested his savings in a small property. Today he has quit his job and is earning income from his property. The key to his success was hunger to learn, and your systems are your strength. Have you ever wondered why rich people stay rich? Because they created systems for themselves. A small example: save 10% of your income every month and invest it. This small step can become a big asset for you over the years. I myself did the same. Started investing a little bit every month, and today I have a strategy that works for me. After 40 years, this may seem difficult to start. They have experience from 10A. Withdraw 10% at some point of time, and now it is your biggest capital. So start today by strengthening your mindset every day, changing your habits, and creating a system that will lead you to prosperity, because after 40, your life is a chance to write a new story. Now is the time to take this journey one step further. If you got to learn something from this video, got some inspiration from it, then you will know that you are ready to change your life and take a strong step towards your dreams. Like the video and write in the comment below,